Oh, it's echoey. No, it's echoey on your end, man.
Is it
You have headphones?
right now? It sounds like crap.
How does it sound? Yeah,
How's
it's
it
fine.
sound?
Yeah, it sounds fine.
Fine?
Yeah,
Does?
yeah. You look a little psychotic, but oh, now it sounds like shit again.
Oh, when I bring this mic close,
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's
Doesn't sound now.
it's still echoing though.
It is
Now
now.
it's nah, yeah, a little bit. I'll just grab my headphones. Hold on.
Oh, good. Is it good?
Okay,
All right, bud.
okay. We have liftoff here. Switch the audio settings. Um, okay, Chris, are you there? Would you just disappear? Well, hey folks, welcome to Summerland. Welcome to the Summerland Grand Opening. Now, over the course of this week, I'm going to be going live every day. Chris will join me for some of these. And for week one, which started yesterday, but I didn't do it. So we're going to do day one and two today. Day one today is everything you know about stress is wrong. And day two, we're going to do that also today. TCDR, the map under the madness. So, Chris, I'm going to, oh, maybe I should mute you. Still echoing. You need headphones, dude.
Let me take my mic out. How about now?
Or if you put noise removal on and now you sound okay. Now I don't hear it. Yeah.
So now it's good.
Yeah, it's like pausing in your okay.
Now it's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, I think it's good now. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it sounds all right. So yeah, basically anyway, I was saying to the people at home that we'll do day one and day two today because I missed yesterday. And today, day one is everything you know about stress is backwards or is wrong, actually. And then day two, TCDR, the map under the madness. So stick around. We're going to go through these and give you some examples and some actual things you can do, actions you can take in your life to actually um, deal with some of the struggles and the tensions and the problems of modern life, but through your body and with and in the fabric of your everyday life, not in a therapeutic context and um, not in some kind of fake spiritual way or through any other bullshit like that. So mostly just body based. Sometimes cognitive experiments, sometimes adventures you take in the world, but basically we'll examples of how this stuff works, how the Summerland training works, and some of these concepts and why they're important, why they should be important to you, and how they help you to simplify, understand and simplify and clarify your struggles with life, your emotional and mental struggles and physical struggles in life, and how to actually um, turn the tables on those and use in a way some kind of like a jujitsu on the forces at play in your life so that you can accomplish more of what you want to accomplish and not get stuck in patterns of fake suffering and chronic tension and drama and all the stuff that people get lost in. So welcome, Chris. Thanks for jumping on here with me.
My pleasure.
Mine as well. And to give you guys a little overview of the rest of the week. So, like I said, I told you what day one and two are. Day three is fake problems and real intensity. Day four, 5 minutes that change your face. It should be like 5 minutes that change your whole life, but we'll deal with that on day four. Day five, Atlas Shrugged in the Art of Not Fighting. And this is well, we'll deal with that when we get there. In day six, why failed seeking keeps failing. So why all the seeking you're doing keeps failing. And then on Saturday for day seven, we're going to do a recap of this week and have a live webinar experience. I don't know why I call it a webinar. I just did, but uh, like a Zoom meeting. We'll meet up and I'll probably live stream it as well here on the channel, but we'll do a recap of everything we covered during this first week and then do Q&A and actually like hang out with people on the Zoom call. Whoever wants to jump on, we'll put the link in the live stream chat and I'll send it out to the email and all that stuff. Post it on all the fake social media. So
Sounds good. What day is
uh,
that?
that's on Saturday.
This
And
Saturday.
yeah, it's coming Saturday. Yeah.
Sweet. I'll be there.
Probably my evening and your daytime. We'll set a time for it, like tomorrow or something. Let everybody know. So yeah, we're going to summarize all this stuff that we did during the week and share some stories from clients' experiences in our own lives. And basically, yeah, then you'll have a chance then to actually sign up for the all new Summerland training, the group training, the training you do, the DIY, where you just get all the access to all the workshops and courses and trainings, just the recordings, or the group, which is a live plus all that stuff, or private, which is work with me directly or me and Chris, and with private sessions and whatnot. And then uh, at the same time, access to the group, access to all the trainings. So I'll have a link up for everybody on Saturday who wants to jump on and do that. The last bit of business here is because this week is like the official launch week, you can still get one of the last two copies of my of this mega pack of trainings that I put together. There's just two left because I included a bunch of sessions, and I'm gonna put that into the chat description right now because I did not I didn't actually write the description. Let's go like this. Oh, oh, no. Okay. So I'll just put those links in there. And if you want to get in to the group training before the Summerland launches and the prices change and everything, you'll be able to do that also on, I'll put that in here on the summerland.radicalundoing.com/dad is where you get that gigantic pack of my life's work over the last 20 years. And the other one is summerland.radicalundoing.com/NGF weekly. And the NGF stands for not giving a fuck because we used to call everything the art of not giving a fuck, which was kind of fun. Till Mark Manson maybe stole the name for his book. Let's see. So let me just make a quick note in the description. Uh, the last, oops, two copies of the mega pack of my life's work here. Um, register for groups before the rates go up this Saturday. And that's that. Oop. Okay, that's fine. Grand opening of Summerland. Okay, dead air. We got to keep going. Save the description. All right, so day one, everything you know about stress is backwards. And one of the main concepts here is what if your main problem has been mislabeled? So what is the main problem? The main problem, the meta problem that's creating all the other problems in your life is basically that you're stuck inside what I call the hellish snow globe of the imagination. You're stuck inside the mind and in a body filled with chronic tension, and there's bodily issues going on, and you're trying to solve those body issues with spiritual seeking, with therapy, with mental attempts. So you're trying to solve body issues in your mind by using your mind, and it won't work. It can't work. So people are trapped in that hellish snow globe of the mind, and their bodies full of chronic tension, which has become almost like a suit of armor. shielding them from feeling the intensity of being alive. And then to deal with this situation, the mind starts creating stories about what's going on in the body, starts having emotional reactions to things. And what we call that fake suffering. And we'll get into that a lot more in a little more depth in the TCDR discussion in a little while here. So the idea is that when you get caught in this seeking trap, you end up sort of becoming a Gnostic. And what that means is you think that when you amass a certain amount of knowledge that you're going to become enlightened somehow, something's going to happen, and you're going to be freed of your problems. And that's not the case. So many of the clients I worked with at some point had a really debilitating library of books that they're lugging around in real life and then also inside their awareness. So they have erected all kinds of ideals and aims that they think they're supposed to be living up to, which creates more chronic tension because they analyze their life unconsciously and see, oh, I'm not living up to those things. I should be these things, enlightened, and I shouldn't have any thought. Should be able to stop my thoughts, or whatever the case may be, and then creates more tension. So then they look for more systems to try and solve the problem, and they never get out of it. So most of the suffering that's going on, there's real suffering in life, but most of the suffering is fake. It's imagining problems in the future that haven't happened and that most likely are not going to happen, or if they do happen, aren't going to be as catastrophic as you think they are. So we want to get in the habit of, you want to say something about any of that, Chris?
Keep going.
So what people get, we need to get in the habit of becoming aware of what's going on in the body.
Hmm.
So one of the ways Gurdjieff used to have people start to do this was to focus on one body part throughout the day, like stay focused on your hands while you're working, while you're doing physical work. Stay focused on your hands. Um, Interestingly, the Jesus prayer, Lord Jesus Christ, have mercy on me, which Gurdjieff did teach a variation of, that also can serve to keep you focused on what's actually going on. You can be completely focused on what's going on and saying the prayer inside your mind and not get wrapped up in what's going on and not get wrapped up in emotional responses to it. I notice for me that happens quite often. But let's say you don't have that yet or don't believe in that yet. Um, you
Well,
can just, huh?
even Carl Jung, every New Ager's favorite psychologist, said that the work is to move the center of gravity from your head into your chest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So a lot of people have tuned into this in certain ways, maybe sometimes an error, but it's yeah. Go on, though. Want to throw
Yeah,
that
yeah,
in.
that's exactly that. Well, with the radical undoing work with the Summerland training, one of the things we do at the end of each of the full body lay down sessions, the breathing sessions and movement sessions, is something called sense and feel. And through doing that specific practice over time, making a real effort of it over time, coupled with the radical undoing work, that will eventually get your identity out of the hellish snow globe of the mind,
Right.
your center of gravity, your awareness, out of the contents of the mind, and you'll be able to see those going on, but you're not subject to them anymore. You know, you
Yeah.
can see them happening, but it's like, okay, and you know the difference between what's happening inside the imagination versus what's happening in actuality. So you could see, oh, okay, I'm freaking out that this thing is happening, but I can see that it's actually not happening.
Um, and it seems like before you do this work, you almost gravitate to that naturally as a kind of false threat detection. Like we're searching for the pain and the suffering because then, like, we know we're in the borders of, I don't know. I can sense it in myself. It's like I distrust ease and goodness. So I search, like I'll wake up in the morning, oh, there's that back pain. Okay, I'm me. Or there's that old memory that I'm okay. So I almost keep myself in a boundary of pain and stress because it's, I don't know, maybe there's like a threat detection kind of thing
Mm.
going on there.
Well, yeah, there is something about that often during the radical undoing work in the beginning, people will fall asleep even if they're well rested, and that's partly because the system views deeper relaxation as a survival threat. So it's like, oh, if this tension's not here, then like something's going to happen, you know. So they'll fall asleep to reassert, the body will reassert the tension in their sleep. So
Yeah.
it's like there's a body image. There's a great huge like book. I don't know what it's like a collection of studies. We should maybe invest in this, Chris, if we can get it. Let me find it here, just so I don't forget. If any of you nerds out in the audience want to check this out, it's Body Image. It's a huge book. It's like a book of all the scientific studies on let me see if it still exists. There's all these, it comes up with all the pop psych stuff, but there was like this Body Image valuing God's good gift, 31-day devotionals for teens. No,
Not
it
that.
was not that. It was like a scholarly work.
That sounds interesting because I'm very fascinated by this idea of the body image right now because Feldenkrais talks a lot about it. Um,
Let me see if I find it on Body Image. There's a journal, uh, Springer Nature Link. What is this? Uh, oh, Encyclopedia of of Life and Well-Being Research. That doesn't make sense. Body Image. Oh, okay. There's a part, but it's cited in that book. Anyway, there was a huge book, huge text that like brought together all kinds of studies on body image. There's a Thomas Cash one, Handbook of Science. Anyway, the point being, what I wanted to bring up, why I brought that up is that there's like a map of the tension in the body that the brain carries. And with radical undoing, we reduce the tension so quickly, break it. You break the tension patterns in the body so quickly that it's less energy for the brain to remap that body image at a lower level of tension than it is to try and reassert the tension. So that's why radical undoing in the Summerland training uh, to permanently reduce the amount of chronic tension. If you keep up with it, permanently reduces the amount of chronic tension that you're carrying. Uh, Whereas like a massage wouldn't do that.
yeah.
Massage, your body will reassert. It will reassert the tension again and again. So, that's why the radical undoing works a lot. It's more thorough, let's say, and more permanent. Yeah, maybe it was this book here. Let's take a look. This is like a handbook, standard body image, standard reference for practitioners, researchers, and students. Huh. Yeah, so that would be interesting. That's like $50. 48 on Kindle. So yeah, it is like sciency, so it's a little more expensive. Uh, Interesting stuff though, yeah. So if you know people you want to learn more about this kind of thing, check out that book by Thomas Cash.
So one So the guy who coined the term somatics, he was a student of Moshe Feldenkrais. His name's Thomas Hanna. And he kind of took one aspect of all of this, what he called sensory motor amnesia. And he's like, the reason people get old is because they get locked in these chronic tensions to the point they don't realize they've been holding it for 30 years. and that part literally disappears from their awareness, their body image, in their literally in their brain. Like there's no more neural connection between them and their glutes, let's say. And so to light up those areas in his technique is pandiculation, where you kind of squeeze an area and then release it so that you're kind of bringing it back online. And his whole system is just built on that alone, where I feel like the undoing work takes that, integrates it into a larger context. I'm sure he does more than, but he kind of coined that term, which can help understand what the issue is, at least on
Yeah.
like a for like at a chronic pain level. Like he's very like for people who are recovering from injuries, for instance, because you overcompensate just something in your body and now you never reawaken the area that got turned off, let's say from an injury. So it's a very more particular kind of somatic
Hmm.
thing, but I think it can kind of give a maybe a different perspective on everything you just said from the body uh, perspective.
Yeah, definitely. This is all I wanted to cover for day one is just that you everything you know about stress is wrong. And I didn't really deal with the concept of stress very much. But basically we'll deal with that a little more on the TCDR section. But stress is just some level of intensity, a higher level of intensity than what you were experiencing prior to it, you know. And it can be physical pressure, it could be emotional, mental, whatever. But it's taking place first and foremost in the body, and then the mind is layering it over with loads and loads of interpretations. So if you can deal with what's going on in the body, it can be a lot of fun. You can learn to enjoy the intensity of what people call stress. I don't even know if I use that word really anymore. I never say that I'm stressed out.
Yeah.
I mean, I get a little bit like, oh man, whoa, this is kind of crazy or this is intense, but there's no like, oh, like feeling buried under stress, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I guess I would say the same thing. Like, because that's such a general, like, what do you mean? Are you feeling anxious? Are you feeling
Hmm.
that's just so broad and it's such a low level. It's like there's no just general stress. There's something going on, that you're just not aware of in the body, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So the whole message for day one is just stop trying to solve what are innately body experiences by trying to solve them with your mind. Stop trying to think. Oh, let me see here. I got had a plug come out. Oh, it's fine. So yeah, stop trying to solve body issues in your head or with psychiatric drugs or psychiatry. I highly recommend against that. So day two, welcome to day two. It happened so fast. Feels like it was just yesterday. TCDR, welcome, Chris. Welcome to day two.
Oh, hey, long time no see.
Yeah, good to have you back. TCDR. So TCDR, the map under the madness. Uh, which actually there was a funny thing when the AI thumbnail that I generated for this, it just came up with its own little TCDR. Yeah, it has truth in like what looks like the Summerland sort of the cult entrance there. Yeah, yeah. It says truth, clarity, discipline, and results, which that's good, but that's not what we're going to talk about. Truth, clarity, discipline, and results. AI just decided that's what it meant.
Okay,
TCDR.
not bad guess, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, it was okay. Kind of generic,
Yeah.
helpy kind of sounding. Uh, okay, so what is TCDR? Well, this is a better way of examining what's going on, a better way of self-assessment, assessing what's going on for you and knowing what's happening in your life and in your body and getting a handle on it and learning to rather than cope or manage things like anger or anxiety or any of that kind of stuff. Instead, TCDR is going to give you a map that's more reliable than your emotional reactions, or your stories about what's going on. So the contents of the imagination. Instead, you're going to know exactly what's going on in the body by remembering this map. And so TCDR stands for tension, charge, discharge, and relaxation. Uh, and so this is the human stress cycle: tension, charge, discharge, and relaxation. So instead of, I am sad, or I am a shy person, or I am whatever, what happens is people get stuck in one part of the cycle and never move themselves through the complete cycle, which would then allow the natural child personality, as like Karen Horney or one of these old psychologists, psychotherapists would say. It would allow you to naturally, your personality to naturally emerge, and be able to share your gifts and you access your potential, uh, to move with inspiration and motivation instead of constant slog.
Heard of that.
Heard about slog? You don't want to slog through life. So, uh, so TCDR, basically, let's give an example here. Hold on, I wrote some notes about this. There we go. Yeah, so basically, the stress, how stress moves through the body and through your life, it always needs to run a four-step loop of tension, charge, discharge, and then relaxation. And most of the suffering that people go through comes about because of that loop getting stuck or interrupted or incomplete. So basically, tension is just something triggers you, like could be cold weather, could be you get like a nasty message from somebody, a difficult conversation, a memory comes up, or you're just overwhelmed with your life. So tension starts to build up. And that means physically. So your jaw, a lot of times people's jaws tense up, or your belly, almost everybody's belly is tight. Different parts of the face, shallow breathing. Uh, so that's the start of the stress cycle. It's not really a problem in itself, just tensing up. It's just that your body's getting ready to do something. For example, the jaw, maybe you need to say something, but if you're afraid to or whatever, you get stuck. Then charge, if the tension sticks around, which it is in most people, it's like in the shoulders or in the jaws or around the eyes, wherever, then it turns into charge. So the tension becomes chronic and it starts to turn into charge. So there's like stored energy in the body, and that's what people translate as anxiety or anger or grief, or feeling like they're hyper, or that they're feeling too much, or they're overwhelmed. And that's just intensified energy built on the muscular tension. So you feel wound up, or intense. Uh, and this is not really like a pathological condition, although psychiatry would often call it that. Um, but like, so bipolar would be someone moving between a constant charge and a collapse. There's no discharge, for bipolar. There's only charge, and then there's collapse, and the tension is there all the time. So there's no actual discharge and no relaxation, for example, in the bipolar thing. And neither of those states are wrong or bad. It's not, they're just looping without a proper discharge. Uh, and by proper discharge, I don't mean what happens when Chris goes to the Chris
Yeah.
goes to the whorehouses too often. Uh, I mean to blow your cover on the live stream, Chris, but the people must know. Uh, uh, okay, so discharge. The system needs, once you have that tension and then charge built up, the system needs a full body release so that the charge can move out of the muscles and nervous system. And discharge can be like, that happens naturally with like trembling. shaking, like if you ever got almost got in a car accident, and then you're kind of like, whoa, okay. The body's discharging all that force and energy. Just pulled the cable out again. Okay, there. We're good. We're good. Okay. Um, Yawning, sighing, when you yawn, make loud sounds too. That's part of the Summerland training. Crying, yelling into a pillow, breathing, deep breathing, heavy breathing, like after a run, face stretches, all this kind of stuff. Uh, if you skip this discharge, basically the incomplete discharge is a huge part of the problem in everyone's life. So it's how you end up with what we call living rigor, which is like rigor mortis, where the muscles and the fibers in the body start to harden. So you get that happening in the body while you're alive. An old chiropractor, a teacher that I had at one point, he had techniques that were to bring life back into the living rigor. They're very painful, but it would bring blood and life back into those muscle groups that were no longer functioning properly.
Yeah,
So,
Rolfing.
yeah, so you need a discharge and then relaxation. When once you have completely discharged, you drop into real relaxation, which means more breath, limbs are heavier, face is softer, jaw is loose, mind is quieter, and you're grounded and aware. Doesn't mean you're tired though. And this is awake relaxation, not collapsed or sleep. So you're calm and alert, but not zoned out. And over time, finishing the cycle will leave you feeling clearer, less reactive, so less emotionally unstable, and more able to make sane decisions under pressure. So that's the full loop TCDR, tension, charge, discharge, relaxation. That's what we call in Summerland the normal human stress cycle. So, where do people get stuck? Most people almost never complete this cycle. And I laugh, but it's actually tragic in adult life. So, they live frozen in one stage or bouncing between tension and charge, or like we mentioned before about the bipolars, they're going between charge and collapse. So, it's like a false relaxation. Like depression is not really relaxation, right? When people say they are depressed, they're like, "Oh, I can't get up, I can't do anything." It's not actually relaxation. It's collapse piled on tension.
Right, right, right,
So the charge is gone, but the tension stays.
right.
So there's no proper discharge.
But we got to get at that deeper tension. That's why just relax is like the worst advice because even when you sleep, that under you're sleeping in the same chronic pattern tension that's been there for so the exercises can undo the tension, but our tendency is going to be to revert back to the same way we carry our bodies. How do we re-educate the system to the body and the brain to hold the new shape, the new tension free.
Well, body awareness, number one, is our awareness itself already causes the things to start to relax. So when you actually have awareness in the body, which will happen by doing the radical undoing exercises over and over and over again. So doing the face stretches every day, the shoulder, face and shoulders, maybe the flops, laughing breath, something like that every day, and doing a full session at least once a week. So that's going to be built into the Summerland structures. The weekly group session, you can do a private session once a week if you want as well. Um, and then we have special sort of side or back door or back rooms groups and meetings that you'll get invited to if you prove to be a good Summerland student, then you might get invites into these secret groups that we run. Sounds kind of culty, but it's actually not. It's just that it's um, you have to show some kind of that you're willing to do the exercises and that you are housebroken enough to communicate properly with other people, then you can get invited to these other groups, sort of curating decent people in them over the years. So let's explore where people get stuck in this TCDR thing. So people are locked in tension in the T. They're carrying constant baseline tension. Now, this is almost everybody now. This is almost everybody alive. But let's say in exaggerated forms of it, sometimes would be in the jaw, in the shoulders, in the belly, but you won't even notice it anymore. You just think like, this is how I am. I saw this waitress once in Portland, Oregon, Chinese woman. Her shoulders were up like this, and I thought she was doing something. I forget if I thought she had a phone. I don't remember what. She's
Right.
taking our order. She walked away and it was just staying like that. It was literally, I'm not exaggerating. They're like higher than I can even pull my shoulders.
Yeah, yeah,
And I'm
yeah.
wondering if they just stay like that when she lays down. You know what I mean? I wanted to come at her with a hammer.
Yeah.
It was
That's
wild.
that's almost a clear like she got petrified by someone scared the shit out of her when she was young and like
Yeah.
that's a freeze and that
Yeah, it's
terror
just like
that
this all the time. She's operating on that level. That's what we call living rigor. So long-term unresolved tension that's become a part of your personality. So people then that are looping in charge is they label as anxiety or feeling wired or easily triggered or spinning out inside your mind. That's charge coupled with tension, but no discharge route. And what we're doing with the training is you move yourself through this cycle deliberately over and over again. And then once you've done that enough, your body will automatically know. You'll know where you are, but you'll also just naturally move through the cycles. And you'll get exercises to use to do the discharge properly. So the discharge, uh, after something intense happens in your life, like you're at a undoing session or an argument or doing a lot of difficult work, there's a window where your body wants to discharge, but people often instead go to their phones or analysis or therapy or more work. So rather than actually setting aside time to properly discharge, they jump into something else. This is the most commonly skipped moment in the body first training.
mm,
And it's
mm.
where fake suffering gets manufactured from out of the unfinished charge. So there'll be charges left over, normal charge from the day, from the experiences, and you need to discharge those if they're in the body. If you don't discharge those, then uh, then the mind starts making up stories about why there's intensity going on. So you're sitting at home like a night like this, and nothing's happening. Everything's peaceful and chill, and there's no threat on your life, and yet you're reacting like full of energy or full of like, oh man, and start thinking about your relationship or your kids or your job or your problems, and when they where they might not actually exist. And if you get stuck in that type of thinking long enough, then you start to create problems because you're reacting to other people as if that thing is already happening. So if you think your boss was upset one day and you got in your head that it's about you because he said something mean to you or whatever, and then you start acting weird for like 2 weeks, and then the boss is ready to fire you because now you're reacting like that all the time. And I destroyed a relationship of mine once like that. I thought that she was all mad at me at this big outdoor camp out thing. And I got so overwhelmed with the idea. And I was like, oh, that's it, we're breaking up or whatever. And then that gave her the idea that to break up. Like, but everything was fine before that. But I was
Yeah.
so crazed about it. There was actually nothing going on. Uh, but anyway, uh, and I didn't know anything about any of this tension charge. Just I was locked completely inside the hellscape of my mind then. And then now the relaxation, I mentioned this already, but if you are constantly doing the tension and charge with no discharge for long enough, you crash. You end up crashing all the time into exhaustion, numbness, and sometimes that can last for years too, this numb sort of nihilistic thing. doom scrolling, or just complete system shutdown. So that's not real relaxation. And maybe you think you're resting, but the underlying tension and charge are there. And that's why when people wake up, even after a long night's sleep, they'll feel like they didn't get any rest at all. They wake up feeling tired. And that's also pretty chronic in our culture. The people accept that as normal. Uh, so the key to all this is to examine yourself and start to notice and label it in a new way, not in a positive or negative way, but in a way like, oh, I'm feeling some tension, or I'm in a charged state, or okay, everything's done. Let's take some time to discharge. And and then you will, by doing so, you'll ultimately end up at true relaxation. And a lot of the Summerland training goes deep into what relaxation is and how to get there, how to get to it. There's a whole section in the Summerland intensives, the 30-day thing, about relaxing into intensity. So being able to relax in the most intense experiences in your life. And we train that in. We train that in deliberately, and it's not that difficult. Uh, and so I wanted to mention about fake suffering. Uh, yeah, no, I think I covered all that. The fake suffering comes just from analyzing the charge in the body and trying to come up with reasons for it being there. Oh, I have anxiety. Oh, I have depression. Oh, I have an identity problem.
Yeah.
One guy I like, I can't remember his name right now, but he called this the case of mistaken identity. It was basically that, no, it was uh, FAE. Yeah, I think it was FAE, false attribution error, fundamental attribution error, where you think that you judge the other people in your life as having some kind of psychiatric diagnosis instead of like it being an environmental condition or a reaction to tension in the body or like, oh, that woman, what common one? Oh, that woman's a liar. She's a liar. How could I ever be with her? But all the times she wanted to all the time she tried to say what she needed to say, then you reacted as if that's not okay. You know
Right.
what I mean? We got all pissed off. So every time she tried to do that, she couldn't. So eventually she starts lying just to not have deal with the overreactions. So is she a liar or was she pushed into that? So that's the fundamental attribution error. So that most of what's going on is bodily and environmental, not that you have a medical condition that's
Right.
that makes you behave a certain way. This is a great lie of psychiatry right there. This mysterious condition of the illness of the mind. They don't even know what the mind is. How can they call it an illness? Illness of the mind, these bastards. So yeah, TCDR will get you out of that mess. So it's both a map for where your nervous system is right now, and it's also the tool that you're going to use to end the fake suffering by completing the stress cycles. So they're simple. The discharge stuff is pretty fun. They're simple. It's like, I'm not going to do it in this chair. You can't support it, but you lay on a bed or a thick, cushiony couch and inhale with your arms like this, and then you smash them behind you like uh, uh, get off my back, Do that, you remember that one, Chris?
I do.
Get off
Um,
my back. It's super nice.
I
Uh,
had a therapist too who would do that, a somatic therapist who liked that type of stuff. And so we have to complete the cycle. And let's say you haven't used the word trauma yet. That's a big buzzword these days.
yeah,
But do you think there,
it's a big
let's say,
fetish for people.
but let's say as a kid, you got beat up and you never, uh, you tried to run away, but you couldn't. So now in your system does your system need to go and relive that moment and get away this time and change the story? What do you ever hear, that's kind of how things are treated these days in this space.
I'm just not sure that it even matters on that level. People are
Yeah,
so obsessed with their past and
right.
with the so-called trauma. Uh, and it becomes fetishized. Some people got mad at me about the trauma drama exercise. Like,
I remember that one.
oh, yeah, Garrett's not qualified to help people with trauma. I'm like, shut the fuck up. Okay, I'll give you some trauma. No, no. But
Yeah, that's trauma informed now. We got to be trauma informed to uh,
ugh,
talk about trauma.
oh my God. So you have to you have to be capable of inflicting trauma to help people with their trauma.
That'd be dangerous.
Yeah, no, I'm kidding. But uh, I don't think it's necessary, all that deep analysis of the past and of your condition. Now, with the radical undoing, I noticed for myself that I got kind of like this grand tour of my life, of my memories, but on a visceral level. Like it was very I don't know how to put it because it was memories, but it was like wave after wave of over the course of a few months when I got deep into the undoing stuff. I called it the memory waves because that's what it felt like. But it
And it
was
feel like it was process. It felt like a processing.
yeah, but I wasn't active in the processing,
Yeah, it
which
was
is the
just
key here. Yeah, I wasn't analyzing any of it. It was just like washing through me. And that's happened a few times over the years, but there was a sense at one point, a sense of like sort of sweet, like this sweetness and gentleness and warmth about everybody that I had ever interacted with.
yeah,
They were no longer categorized in like good or bad or what they did to me or any of that stuff. It was just like, oh, that person, you
yeah,
know? So the waves of memory was like, oh, that time, that situation, the pain the pain of it was instead of it being like um oh, I wish I did something different or oh my God, I can't believe that happened. The pain of it was like that I didn't that I wasn't aware of it while it was happening, aware of the immense beauty of it all, you know? It was like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah, yeah.
dude, how did I get lost, you know? How did I not remember this simple, obvious thing that's always going on? So yeah, some kind of grand tour of all the memories. And then at that point, each one is kind of precious, even the real difficult stuff. But there was no need to kind of analyze any of it. No, not that I was aware of. A lot of this stuff you'll get rid of behaviors and things with the undoing work with it, and you won't even notice the behavior is gone because it'll just be you just won't be part of your functioning anymore.
Yeah.
You were reacting to something that's not present already, and then you'll become aware that that thing's not present, and then you won't be reacting to it anymore. But you won't even notice that you stopped reacting. That's kind of a strange thing, but
Well,
other
but
people,
I think that's what like that's a shift in identity, an expansion of self-image or something. Because now that you're just like at a different place that falls away, maybe you'll remember it, but only on the other side.
yeah, like more like other people in your life will notice those things.
Yeah, yeah.
That happened a lot with the undoing for me, like other people noticing that my behavior was different. I had no idea. So, yeah, there's just a little bit about TCDR. If you guys are watching this far, leave a comment on the YouTube under the video and let us know where you get stuck in the cycle or any thoughts you have about TCDR. And we're gonna get more into this. We'll cover this more in detail and give some specific exercises in the webinar on Saturday. But why don't we do one exercise right now that I think
Do it.
summarizes the entire TCDR experience in 1 minute? And it's a good exercise to use every day. And it's a big part of the Summerland training. And that is I call it Atlas Shrugged, but it's shoulders to ears. So you pull your shoulders up like this. Oh, let me straighten out my neck a little. Pull your shoulders up like that. And you don't have them rolled forward and don't have them rolled back, but oh, geez, mess in there. Just pull them up and then make sure your neck isn't coming up like that. And just keep pulling the shoulders up. So it's a dynamic exercise. You want to continuously push the shoulders upward while you're doing it, and then relax into that intensity, and then breathe. And just keep on breathing. So right now, this is the tension. Immediately, the tension was already there, but now we're adding more tension. And through doing that, you're going to feel a sense of charge as well, which might feel like you're annoyed with the fact that you're keeping the shoulders up. But just keep on breathing and keep pulling them up. We do this for at least 1 full minute. Nice shirt, Chris. I like that one.
Mhm. Thanks.
It looks new agey, but but it's not.
It's Peugeot. Peugeot's
Oh,
drum.
oh, nice. So we'll go a little bit longer. We'll go longer than a minute. It's nice. On the dailies, the daily training, we used to do this for 10 minutes at a time.
10?
Yeah. You want to do it for 10? We could do it for 10.
5.
We'll
5.
go, we can go a couple more minutes, sure. A couple more hours. Let's see who breaks first.
See who breaks first. 2 days later.
It's a trick question. Chris is already broken.
Ooh. Ooh.
Uh, okay, so full breath in. Hold the breath for a moment. Pull the shoulders up even tighter. I'll say 3, 2, 1. We say ah and thrust the shoulders down. And you guys watching, if you didn't do this along with us, rewind the tape and do it along with us. So hold, 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 and then 3, 2, 1. Ah, ooh, that's super nice. You can shake them out a little if you want afterward. And then just sit back and relax and take a few breaths. Uh, uh, uh. Ooh, that is just wonderful to do. I have all these friends, and a lot of them here don't know what I do at all, and I don't ever tell them. I don't even tell them at all. I just
Yeah.
let them suffer. But I
I just
could,
let him
I
stuff.
said, I know in all these situations, like choir, for example, I could just say like, "Hey guys, I know some cool stuff. Like, let's do this before choir or whatever." Certain situations, but I just don't. Yeah.
Well, if people aren't ready and they're not listening to, they could, it's kind of a casting pearls before swine thing. Not that people are swine,
Yeah.
but they're not ready to hear it and they don't, not interested. They're not gonna get it or do it. That's a good one. And it's like with this stuff, you got to push past your level of comfort to get and the benefits just are exponential. It's like boiling water. You could stay at this certain level the whole time and never get the release or the what you're looking for if you don't. I think that's
Oh.
part of the work is settling into relaxing into the tension, right?
Mhm.
That's probably one of the biggest benefits of it, besides the actual release of the tension, is not reacting to the tension.
Yeah, while it's going on, you can just notice, and that's why now doing that shoulder exercise and doing like handstands like we do or whatever else uh, every day and teaching yourself while you're sitting there, not complaining, not doing other stuff, but just being there with what's happening in the shoulders and not making a big deal of it in your mind. Then when other tension or charged situations happen in your life, you'll already be used to. You will already be used to not reacting, but you can't try to trick your mind because what your mind will lose control as soon as the body wants to dominate it. Now, the way Dr. Hyatt explained some of this was there's more pathways going from the lower parts of the brain and up to the frontal lobes than there are from here going down.
Mm.
So that's why when you decide you make decisions up here, but then the body gets hungry or cold or whatever, and it just overrides those decisions.
Right, right.
But once you can relax into all that stuff, who's this guy? Yeah, once you get used to doing that over and over, then you're building pathways back down from the frontal lobe. So you make a decision and actually the body can't override it, can't overwhelm it. Fasting is another thing like that.
Right, right.
So this will just make it so that when you inevitably run into difficulties and tensions and all that in your life, you'll be prepared to handle it with ease and with relaxation. So you'll automatically run through the TCDR in various moments, but then with a whole day, at the end of each day, you could stop and do just the face stretches, the shoulders, like we just did, the shoulder thing, and then lay down and go to bed. You won't have any of this restless legs or any of that kind of stuff. So that's just a little bit about it. So this has been day 1 and 2 of the grand opening of Summerland, and we'll have the special event on Saturday on the Zoom. So I'll send out the email about that. And I'll mention one more time, if you take a look in the description of the video here, there's still 2 packs out of 10 left of the mega pack of My Life's Work that you can get a hold of if you want at a dramatically reduced rate. And then also, if you want to jump on the weekly Radical Undoing group session, you will be grandfathered in um, to the new Summerland Academy, but at the old rates. So if you want to do that, you can check it out in the description of the video. Otherwise, leave us comments. Let us know where you get stuck in the TCDR cycle, anything else you learned. Make sure you like and share with friends and enemies and family. And yeah, clicking the like really helps. Leaving comments helps boost the channel a little bit. So thanks for that. And Chris, anything else to add before we get going for today?
No, I think that's good. That's a good overview, and looking forward to going through this all again myself, and then also to continue here. So
Yeah,
good
it's gonna
stuff.
be fun stuff. So hopefully Chris will join us for the rest of these. We'll see, but it's every day. So we'll see you guys again tomorrow. And remember, tomorrow will be fake problems and real intensities. We'll get into some interesting stuff about your fake problems tomorrow. They seem real, but the good news is that most of them are fake. So I'll show you how to see through them and how to get down to some real problems so you can actually start living. All right. Thanks again, Chris. Awesome to see you as always. And
You as
thanks
well.
everybody for watching.